Hello everyone, it's Akkio here, and today I'm going to be talking about and giving my opinions on Mr. Birchum. Before we begin, for the people who don't know what Mr. Birchum is, I will explain. Mr. Birchum is a conservative right-wing adult cartoon. That's a fucking mouthful, holy shit. I could have said it was a conservative show to save time, but oh well. It's a conservative show that is written to be against the woke minds or something. And let me just say that unlike any other conservative, and let me say that unlike any other person I've seen post videos about Birchum, I watched every episode that's out so far. So this is my whole thoughts and opinions based on all of the show we have so far. Now with that being said, this video will be broken up into a few different parts. One is about the show, characters, and somewhat plot. I can put them into one category because they are that simple and not interesting. The second is about the animation and writing, and the third is about how the public took it and my personal opinions about the show. Let's begin. The plot of Mr. Birchum is that Mr. Birchum is trying to teach his woodwork class and has to deal with the left-wing woke children of this era alongside the stereotypical Democratic counselor / Jedi Mr. Carponzi, his lover. And basically, he thinks only his view is right. The show treats that as so. And that's it plot-wise. Now let's dive into the forgettable characters, of course. Of course, there's Mr. Birchum. Do I need to explain further? His wife, Wendy, who I guess is there to defend Birchum's son and be support to Birchum. She genuinely doesn't have any other traits that I can mention other than maybe being a little Democratic. Then there's Birchum's stepdaughter, Jeannie, who is a lousy Louise Belcher rep-off who is only there to hype up Birchum and agree with everything he says, noticing a pattern. And then there's Birchum's son, Eddie, who is a gamer and makes a decent buck off it, but is 20 and still living in their basement. Honestly, every flashback scene we see of him with Birchum makes me feel bad for him, because it always ends up with him crying in some sort of way. Anyway, next up is Birchum's best friend and teacher buddy, Gage. Like Wendy and Jeannie, he agrees with Birchum on almost everything and is Birchum's black friend. Then last but not least is Elliot / Mr. Carponzi, the show's gay character who they tend to put off as an antagonist to Mr. Birchum, always wanting to get him fired, mostly for good reasons, but you know. He's a walking stereotype. Birchum has a few other he's a walking stereotype. Birchum has a few other friends, but my god are they so unrecognizable and only in like one episode, so I didn't want to include them here. Also, before we go on, I just want to say that these characters are so forgettable that I had to look up every character's name but Mr. Birchum and Carponzi's here. I said the premise of the show in my introduction, so I'll skip past that and go on to the next step. Before we go on, I just want to say that I have no experience with animation in any which way or form. I am just an animation lover who respects the time and effort that is put into animation and the team behind it. But I still wanted to talk about this in this video, so take everything I say about the animation with a grain of salt. Something I've noticed alongside a bunch of other people is how stiff the animation looks. Not that I care, but it is something that I've noticed across watching these episodes. I've also noticed how people seriously criticize the style of the characters overall, and I just want to say it's not that bad. Well, anything would look not that bad after watching almost all Big Mouth. Ugh. But the reason for this is that the animation on Birchum is shipped off internationally to be made only for them to have a very short deadline to have the episode finished. Now for my thoughts on the writing. I personally, as a soon-to-be writer, do not think Birchum is written very well. Its target audience, for example, doesn't even want to watch it because it has a gay character, too, actually. And that they don't want any mention of one in any of their conservative cartoons / media overall. How do you miss the mark that fucking badly? And here's an example of what I call bad writing from episode 4, aka the gayest Birch episode. Not to mention how they know their audience and play a scene of Carponzi and Birchum dancing, obviously in love, only for Birchum to wake up. First thing in the episode, by the way. The funny part is the theme song plays when the episode starts and it is not even in the same place as what we saw before. The intro later. Hold on. Basically, what it says is that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that basically what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't even align up with the rest of the cartoon. Like you see the clip and then it shows him at a part where he should have been it should have happened like later in the episode, but it happened first thing in the episode, which is weird, and I don't know if I should count that as bad writing or what, but anyway, let me just and the fact that it's not even in the middle of the episode either, and is not even mentioned again, is a little weird. Why even do this knowing your audience hates the LGBT community / gay people overall? I also think that their timing on jokes and writing jokes isn't funny, and for having cutaway gags, they barely use it to their advantage at all. And the worst part is that if the writing was better and closer to the pilots, it actually could have worked. The 2012 pilot that was pitched to Fox reminded me of King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers style mixed, and the pilot honestly made me laugh and made me wish that was what we got instead. And damn, I miss how hot Wendy was in the pilot. Damn. Now, this section of the video is what made me want to talk about this, and that's how the public / people took Birch. I already mentioned how the conservatives didn't like Birch and mostly threw it away to watch King of the Hill or other stuff instead. But another community grew to like this cartoon. That community being the same community that they were trying to hate. That being the LGBTQ community. Shitposts, yaoi art, and fanfics spread like wildfire, with some even claiming Birchum as their own. This is all satire by the LGBTQ community, but they know how infuriated the Birchum team / the Daily Wire must be by this. Also, I don't think I mentioned this, but the only in quotation marks way to access Birch is through a subscription to the Daily Wire. A quick and easy search on YouTube proved me wrong, with all of the episodes being accessible with no copyright and no stupid shit on the side of the screen, full screen and everything. Big shout out to Kai Nightcore Mix for making me not have to have a subscription to the Daily Shitter. And now, lastly, for my overall opinions. Do I hate Birchum? No. I find it funny. I find it stupid and hilarious to poke fun at it. I also enjoy making / seeing satire content being made from it. I also think that it could have been good / decent with better writing and slower deadline for the episodes to be out. I see Mr. Birchum for what it could have been and for how it is now. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd seriously appreciate it if you'd like the video. And if you want to see more content like this, I'd suggest subscribing for more. Anyway, that's it for now. See ya.